things that we feel like we can be missing in our own personal lives is authentic connection, just that connection of people and the life that's out there. I know that our screen times are abundant, me, myself as well. And I thought I would just share with you guys what could start breaking that screen time endless loop that we continuously see ourselves in, and what can really actually support you to feel more grounded, to feel more connected. There's so many things out there, but this is the one thing that I've strongly been so grateful about is rescuing my dog Toby, who is now going on 2 years together with me. I want to share with you, I don't take this lightly. This is not going to be for everybody. I know that for me, the first 7 months, I really struggled with having a dog, being from super independent, no other responsibilities, being able to just fully focus on myself, to then rescuing this dog and then being faced with all my shadows. And I didn't even realize at that time that they were shadows, because the mind is so good at making it about something that it's not even about. But I'm grateful I stuck with that 7-month journey. The reason I say that, I feel if you're already someone that strives to be a better person every day, I mean, I know family and children can bring a new level within you, but obviously I'm not going to just go have children with some random. It's got to be God-led. But in the meantime, I do feel like Toby has allowed me that inability to look at some things that I wouldn't have been able to look at on my own. And some of those things are just unconditional love, how that really feels, and more acceptance, I would say. And there's a lot of groundedness. There's more me wanting to engage in life because I want to be present for Toby. And I know that our time isn't forever in this dense form. It is finite. Like, there is an ending that comes to it. And it's a lot sooner than people's lives most of the time. I mean, unless, God forbid, something horrible strikes. And I know that, and I know time goes by, and I know things do pass, and I try to always practice like the present moments that I have. One thing that I have really recognized, not just within having Toby, but also in my work when I'm with other people, is things that fully take my attention away and causes this leaky energy, to when I'm fully present with someone, and what blossoms from just being fully in the moment with someone else and being able to hold space and be in that space. And with Toby, you know, when we go on walks, I don't take my phone with me. Not every single time. I can't say never, but 99.9% of the time, I do not have my phone with me. When I am at the dog park with Toby, I'm walking the beach with Toby, or we're just walking the neighborhood. It's an opportunity for me to put my phone away because it's not needed. And it starts building that habit of not being so obsessively addicted to having my phone right there. I love opportunities where my phone can be packed away because it supports the nervous system to regulate. And, you know, the Vipassana experience I went on, which was a 10-day silent meditation retreat where we had no phones, no anything, that was an amazing ability to be away from complete distraction of any screen, because even though I could have my phone away, there's so much to be distracted with. So that was a great opportunity. But, you know, in my day-to-day, Toby really affords me that opportunity to let me make this time when I go on a walk or I go take him to a dog park to be about me and him. And what that allows me to be is really present with him, present with my environment. Like, I get to enjoy my walks. I'm more alert, and I actually connect with people. Like, I'll start having conversations. I've found that the dog community, some of us, not all, can be very social people. I'm naturally social, and just having Toby has opened up that door in a much more safer environment for me, because it's like, I feel like maybe like having kids, like you kind of connect at the dog park, you start having conversations, and they've just opened up so much that me and another person can relate about, or if they're struggling with something, I can actually share my experience with it. One of the biggest things I share is I don't like to shame people that aren't dog people. What I've found is it's mostly about the heart and its ability to be open and understanding unconditional love. Not everyone in the world was raised with unconditional love, even though they were raised in a great family home or they weren't. Unconditional love is not that common. I mean, there are people that definitely practice that, embody that, and live in the heart of that. But there are so many of us that are shut down, and we only know conditional love. We only know that through our own conditionings. And it's like I had to learn with Toby. I really woke up to seeing that I was really loving him from a conditioned state. And there were times where I was like in love and like so, just yay, everything's great, until he wouldn't do something or make a mistake. And then I would fully withdraw my love. And there's a lot to unpack there, and gratefully I had this experience 7 months in, and we did a 180, and I recognized that was when the self-sabotage and all of that really ended, and me trying to find a way out of our commitment, or the commitment I made when I did rescue him. And from that point forward, I never had this feeling or thought like, oh, I need to find him a new home, or that I'm not good enough, or I can't provide the things that he would need. Like, my mind was so good at trying to make reasons that felt very valid, that, oh, you know what, I don't have enough time for him, and blah, blah, blah. All that can be true, but the deeper layer really was that I was just really afraid of not being able to love him. That was like really the underlying thing that I couldn't see. I was trying to find my way out of unconditionally loving him. Even that's very subconscious. It wasn't something that I was aware of until I had the shift, and I recognized like, oh my God, all those justifiable excuses were all bullshit. Like, it was all bullshit. And so now it's like, it doesn't mean that there aren't structures to our day, that I don't discipline him. It just now doesn't come from a space of frustration and misplaced emotions and hate and projection. I can discipline him and, be firm with him, but it comes from a love that wasn't there before or wasn't on before. And he's been able to reopen that, reactivate that for me. I have to give a shout out to Awaken Breathwork, OWAKEN, because in the time that I was struggling with Toby, I was taking on their 30-day challenges that they have on their app. And I'm so grateful they had those challenges, because I'm very confident in saying that having that breathwork practice every single day that was supporting me as I was dysregulated with this journey with Toby was just the perfect combination to then unlock something way deeper within me and giving me the opportunity to learn from Toby as a teacher. One of the other things that I think is great for those who are into self-development is that with Toby, I can't say like you're going to have your own experience. I think you get the dog that really is going to bring out all the parts of you. And if you're ready for the challenge, you just buckle up and you are ready to meet your shadows. It will bring those parts out of you. But with Toby, one of the things that's really great is that he's really allowed me to practice the embodiment of acceptance. So I think a lot of dog owners, I can see them and I feel it in their body, like this cringe when their dog does things that they feel is shameful. And I can see the energy around that be more about the person. And like, dogs are so innocent. They don't know. You can definitely discipline them. But what I've found is that with Toby, what I've learned is there's more acceptance. Like, being able to open up my threshold of being okay. Like, it's all accepted. Dogs get to bark. dogs get to do the things that, you know, we might be training them not to do. And I know there's a lot of people that shame dog owners for a lot of things, and I get that. Even in the dog community, you know, we're shaming one another for whatever it is. There are things that I do agree on, like you have to have 100% recall on your dog before being okay being off leash with them. I think that's just safety and being really, you know, just being really cautious about everyone around you, and it's safety for your dog. But what I was going to share is, like, mostly when your dog, you have a leash on them and they're going crazy, I've noticed that I see the dog owner being like, I'm so sorry, as if it's like their fault. And it's really allowed me to practice being able to enter their field and share, like, I could just feel their nervous system. And I can feel that they're taking on this challenge. And because there's a lot of awareness and acceptance and understanding that this is nothing to be sorry about. Like, you know, I feel as humans, we have found a lot of shame that we carry on that isn't ours. And we like to apologize. I'm so sorry. But it's, I could feel it in my system that the apology is very, limited, if that makes sense. It's not expansive. And so in times such as that, I love to enter their field and bring that piece and aspect of acceptance, like normal dog behavior, and you are not responsible for a very normal dog behavior, and here's how to correct it, here's how to work on it. But if you feel shame about it, you've already lost control with it, with your dog. That's what I've really learned. And I know some people can be like, oh no, my dog's barking. And I've found when you're more accepting of what's happening and the situation, obviously I'm not saying you're just accepting your dog going wild and things. I'm saying within the frames of having it under control, like your dog is clearly on the leash. Clearly your dog is maybe getting aggressive or whatnot, but you have that part under control. Now, what the action is of that dog, what they're doing, that will take work. But if you find shame or you're over trying to compensate, so we do that a lot. We try to overcompensate for our dog. So we'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, whatever that is. And I think some can relate to it. But what that does is not correct the situation and perpetuates this energetic loop that's going to live in your system and then project into other people's systems and then really dysregulate the nervous system. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, your dog's nervous system is going to be fully dysregulated, because dogs can feel our energies. We want to make sure that we are understanding of there isn't a perfect dog out there. Dogs are always learning, just like we're always learning. And the more forgiveness you can have for a dog, the more forgiveness you're going to actually be able to have for yourself and hold for others. I think that's a really big thing that then starts having this ability to have acceptance for the world, period. Like, we hold people to the stakes as if there is no such things as mistake, you know? And I don't love when I see this, when I see it in celebrities, they do a slip up, or maybe they don't agree with you in the way that you see things, and boom, they're just put on the stake. You're forgetting that. How do you grow in life? How do you experience life without being able to walk down these different paths and journeys, and then, you know, recognize, like, you know what? That really wasn't it, and being able to switch, you know, the walk that you're walking. So a little digression right there, but going back to the dog situation is I love these opportunities with other people and really being able to see this is really, having a dog is a really good opportunity to work on your magic, your skills, your energetic field, expansion, self-development, growing as a person internally. But I don't say that lightly. I don't think that it will be for everyone. It is a commitment. There is financial responsibility to it. But also on that level, it's another level for you of saying like, I'm going to make this happen. I can do this. I'm not limited. And then being able to see all your limitations. I do think it takes a certain level, but I wanted to say all the positives that can come from this is Toby really offers me that extra moment of, okay, put your phone away, groundedness, acceptance, and unconditional love, being able to practice that with him every single day and show up as it. And like I mentioned, I used to get really angry with him, and there would be anger behind it. And because there was anger behind it, I'd put him on timeout and just not even want to deal with him. What's switched is I still get angry with him, but there's no longer this anger behind it. Behind the anger is actually love. And because there's love behind it, I can get angry for that moment, and then we've moved on. We're done from that moment, because at the end of the day, I still love you, and I'm not gonna withdraw love from you. I'm gonna get angry, and I'm going to correct you, but now there isn't this withdrawing love like, okay, silent treatment, or I'm pushing you away. Now it's more so like, here's the correction, now we've moved on. And I think now I really love noticing that, because one of the things that Dr. Joe also says is that if you're angry, or if you're in emotion of anger, frustration, whatever it is, for more than 60 seconds, don't quote me, it's around that time, very short time span, then you're basically, there's no reason to be. I forgot the exact thing, but he basically teaches that if you're addicted, now you're just addicted to the emotion, and you just can't self-regulate. It's learning how to self-regulate. I wish I knew that exactly. I remember hearing that, and you can catch it in a lot of his stuff, and I really was like, holy shit, and there's no reason for us to hold these emotions for days, weeks, and months. That's just us being me trying to be a victim and replaying a situation, when, like, I guess the science behind it is an emotion should only last about 60 seconds and you're done. And when you see animals too, like, they'll attack or whatever, and once it's done, it's like they're done. Cesar Millan even shares this, like, dogs, they don't hold you to like a past experience. They've moved on. Like, okay, that happened and now they're moved forward. But we as humans have this inability. I think it comes to forgiving and trusting, and because we're not so forgiving, we hold people to their past, we hold things that have been done to the past, that grudge, and we hold that emotion with it. And I found that just going on a little digression, I noticed, but I think I wanted to just share all that. If you got anything out of that, that's cool. I know it's a lot of bits and pieces here and there, but I thought that was so important to share, because we just came back from a walk and I connected. My neighborhood has a lot of people with dogs that are Toby's size and or bigger, and it's been really awesome to be able to, like, I know my neighbors because I'm walking Toby twice, 3 times a day, sometimes maybe once. I have my phone away and I'm looking at my neighborhood, and it's really awesome to know your neighbors. I don't think that's super common, but get a dog, start walking, put your phone away, and start engaging, having conversation, learning the way of, not every dog owner is going to want to talk to you. Not every dog owner wants your dog and their dog to say hi. And it's like learning those energetics and really being able to feel and respecting someone's boundaries and learning what that looks like, and also learning what it looks like to respect your own boundaries. Of when I was training Toby, there was boundaries I had. Dogs can't just come up to Toby. They still can't come up to Toby. I will, even though he's not aggressive, I will stand in front of Toby and I'll ask them, recall your dog. Those are just boundaries, and learning how to really step into them. It's a great way to step into those spaces and feeling confident and knowing that it doesn't have to come from this space of you feel bad. It comes from this space of, I love my dog and I love him so much. I want him to be safe, but I also love other dogs because I love him and I want them to be safe. And I do feel like, in placing boundaries for them really shows us, even for ourselves, where we could be lacking boundaries and where we need to place them for ourselves. And it's not out of control. It's really just out of love for ourselves, our time, our energy. And I'm just going to end it here because I'm going on another tangent. But I believe our micros are our macros. How we do one thing is how we do everything. I believe in, boundaries for me, boundaries for, certain nations have boundaries. And I'm full believer in that. And I'm a believer in like your micros are your macros. What is internal reflects external, and I'm going to end it there. But I hope this supports in any small way. And if you got to listen to the end, let me know what you took from this. Bye.